Hi. 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 Hi.
This is my voice one day on testosterone. I've always wanted to say that.
Hello, my name is Mac, and this is my 1 year on testosterone journey video. I just wanted to make this video because I watched a ton of videos like this when I was starting my transition, and they really helped me and gave me a ton of hope and just inspiration. And so I'm just hoping to do the same for somebody else. And I also really wanted to do this just so that I can look back, 10 years from now and see how far I've come from just, me being on it for a year. I just think that would be so awesome. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna just kind of talk about my backstory a little bit, some things about me when I started my journey, how it's been going, and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy. So for me, I definitely started noticing the signs at a very, very young age. I remember, being a young kid and going through the McDonald's drive-thrus, and I would always say, Grandma, I want the boys' toys. I want the boys' toys, because they would always have like the girl toys and the boy toys, like race cars and then Barbies or whatever. And I was always like, I want the race cars. I want the race cars. And I'm sure other, individuals did this as well and are not trans, but to me, I just felt like this really was something that stuck out to me. And from a very young age, I was also just very much a tomboy. I just felt like I fit in more with the guys. I wanted to dress like the guys. I wanted to look like the guys. I remember just begging my grandma from like such a young age to just please let me cut my hair, and she would always tell me it was way more high maintenance and she wouldn't let me do it. So I would keep finding workarounds. I would put my hair up in a ponytail so that it would look shorter from the front, and I would spike my bangs up because I really wanted spiky hair, and I would dye the tips of my bangs. I also remember going to the store and just getting to buy my first quote-unquote boy shirt, and I just remember that feeling still to this day. I mean, I had to have been maybe like 6 or 7, maybe younger, I don't really remember, but I remember just begging my grandma, please can I buy this boy shirt, and she was like, yeah, sure, okay, and it was an orange shirt with just a black and white stripe in the middle. Like, it was nothing special, it was just in the boys section, and I think I wore that shirt like as much as my grandma would let me. I loved that shirt to death. And then eventually she would let me buy more and more boys clothes, and I felt so much more comfortable in boys clothes when I was just a young kid. And again, I'm just saying this is my experience, I'm not speaking for anybody else. To me, these were the signs that I kind of felt as I got older, gave me the clues that I needed to proceed on my journey. I also started questioning my sexuality at a very young age. I think I came out as quote-unquote lesbian at the age of 6, or no, I wasn't the age of 6, I was in 6th grade, and I just remember my grandma found some very naughty note that I wrote to one of my girlfriends, or like girls that I liked in 6th grade, and I had to basically tell my grandparents in 6th grade that I thought I liked girls, and as far as I can remember, they handled it very well, and I love my grandparents for that. They've been as supportive as they can be, being Republicans and religious. I couldn't ask for any more of how they helped me, become who I am, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I came out, at 6th grade, and from then on, I took that label as mine, and I said that I mostly liked females, and I, back then I was presenting as female as well, so I, was lesbian, quote unquote, and I would go around telling everybody that, and it was a strange thing because none of the kids in my 6th grade class, were like thinking about sex really, let alone the same sex. And so it was just a very weird thing I feel like I kind of brought along with me, and from then on, like, I was never ashamed. I always introduced myself as, if any guys ever tried to ask me on a date or anything, I'd be like, no, I'm gay. Like, I don't know, I was a weird kid. I was just very open about who I was, and I was not ashamed, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. But from a very, very young age, I questioned my sexuality, and I think that was also another key note that kind of led on to who I am. And my past and stuff like that. And then of course puberty hit, and like many other videos that I saw, that is when I started becoming a little bit more uncomfortable with myself, and I felt the pressure to wear makeup, and I felt the pressure to wear my hair down and long, and felt the pressure to dress more feminine, and stuff like that. Through high school I experimented with my identity, as most kids do, I feel like, and it was rough. I never felt, exactly who I wanted to be. I was happy though. I mean, there were times where I was depressed, but I feel like that's just being a teenager at some point, But for me, I'd say I had a great childhood. I had a great bringing up, I guess. High school was not bad for me. I just, there was a lot of times where I definitely questioned who I was, but I didn't question too hard. I was just kind of like, this is who I am, and I'm just going to do whatever I feel like, except for obviously when I said puberty hit, and then I felt pressure from outside sources. I was like, oh, I want to, I should probably look like those girls, or I don't know. And then every once in a while, I would have days where I dressed a little bit more masculine, and of course I loved those days. I just felt so much more at home within myself on those days, and yeah, I don't know. And then as I started college, pretty much the same thing. I definitely got a little bit more taste of getting to have my own style, because I got to go shop on my own, and stuff like buy what I wanted and stuff like that. So that was nice. That was a good little break for me to kind of experiment more with myself, and I genuinely felt very comfortable with myself in college for the most part. College was really though when I really started noticing other trans men on social media and stuff like that, and I became, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I was really interested in how they found themselves and kind of their stories. And that's when I started looking at a lot of trans men stories and questioning that about myself. And I always was just jealous, I guess was the word. I was like, I wish that I could do that. I wish that I could just have the balls to just tell everybody that I was transgender and I could transition. And there's always doubt. I was just like, there's no way that I could ever do that. There's just no possible way that I could tell all my friends, that I could tell my family, that I could tell my job. Like, there's just no way that I could ever have enough courage to do that sort of thing. So I always just pushed that thought in the back of my head, and I just it would pop up every once in a while, and I would go look at trans guys on the internet and research, and and then I tell myself, oh no, like there's no way I could ever do that. I just, there's no way, and I actually, at one party, I was quite inebriated, and I remember talking to a group of people on the front porch of a party, and we were talking about trans identities and stuff like that, and I mentioned to them, I was like, I think sometimes I think that I might be trans. And they were very accepting. Of course I had a great group of friends in college, and I remember telling them that, and it was just a very uplifting moment for me. I feel like I had just relieved such a weight off of my chest, and it felt amazing. I remember they were like, yeah, well, we can call you Mike if you want us to, or something like that. And at that point I was still a little unsure and, a little uncomfortable. So I was like, no, it's okay, maybe just between us or something. And, well, we grew up and grew out of that, and I didn't see them much after that, but I just still remember that moment as kind of a moment where I was like, you know what, maybe I could do this. And then I graduated college, and I got a big kid job, and I started becoming more anxious, and I just had a ton of depression. I did not like having to live by society's constraints of getting up for an 8 to 5 job every day, doing the same thing, having such a tight schedule. And my OCD, made me just really have to, I was so nitpicky about my schedule and being tied into my schedule that if anything went different than how I had planned, it stressed me out. I would just get anxious. I was anxious about my health. There was just a really bad couple of years there when I started my my first real job that I just was not happy with myself. Oh, I should also mention, so I found a partner. Her name is Lisa, and she is one of the best things to ever happen to me. She is great. She's so supportive. So I think we met back in 2016. So we've been together 4 years now. I met Lisa when I was just, graduating college, so I wasn't, super sure of myself yet. And I mean, she was with me through some of the toughest years of my life when I was just feeling terribly anxious about my job and stuff like that. I started going to therapy because of how bad my anxiety was getting and how debilitating it was. And that really helped me. I didn't know that therapy could help so much, but it really does. And I mean, just talking to somebody about what I was feeling once or twice a week was just great for me. It was very just rejuvenating. And then, let's see, a couple years after I started at work, and about a year after I started therapy, I again just kind of started looking online at a lot of other trans guys on social media, and just, having those moments of thoughts of like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could. Like, I would totally do it in a heartbeat if I had enough courage. And then one day, I really thought about it, and I'm like, what is seriously stopping me from doing that? I'm like, yes, it would be hard, but if I want to do it, I can do it. And so I mustered up enough courage, and at first it was almost like a little bit of a denial within myself. I was like, am I trans? Like, do I really want to come out and tell myself that I am trans and I want to do this? And I thought back at my entire life and where I had been and everything that I had questioned, and I was like, yes, like that, there might be a little bit of doubt in my mind, but I think that that's just anxiety. And I was like, I want to do this. I could do this. And so the first person I came out to was my wonderful partner, Lisa, who was just, outstanding. I could not have asked, I don't think I could have told anybody else in this world that would have made it such a better experience, because it was just, she was so supportive immediately, and I remember bawling my eyes out, of course, because it was just such an emotional experience for me, like telling somebody how I genuinely felt about myself, and them being so supportive and there for me was just, I cannot describe that feeling. It was just amazing. And of course I was scared that she wouldn't accept me, deep down, but of course she did. And then after that, I told my therapist, which I probably should have told my therapist first, but I'm very impulsive, and I really just wanted to let somebody know how I felt, and I felt like Lisa obviously deserved to know how I was feeling about myself. But so then I told my therapist, and we talked about it, and we made a plan of action for me to start my transition, and I just immediately after that, I could just tell a difference with my emotional state and how happy I was feeling, and it was awesome. I obviously had a long journey ahead of me still, but just those first moments of being able to tell somebody how I really felt about myself was just like I said, I can't even describe it. It was just awesome. So for me, I'm not saying this is everybody's journey. For my journey, I wanted to tell everybody before I started my testosterone. So what I did is I came out to all my friends first, my close friends. I thought that would be appropriate. I messaged them all, let them know. Of course, they were all extremely supportive. And then before I posted on social media or anything, I wanted to tell my family, which was one of the hardest parts. So I told my family, and that was just so scary. I don't think I've ever had fear like that in my entire life. I was shaking because my family means a lot to me, and I want them to be proud of me no matter what. I want them to always be proud of me, and I want them to think positively of me. And I know that, based on their religious and political backgrounds, it was a little scary coming to them. I know that they'll love me, but it's still scary thinking about that kind of stuff, like what if they don't accept me, or, of course, I'm sure everybody else has also gone through this, but it's scarier when you're actually doing it. It's terrifying. I told my mom first. She was of course supportive. It took the words so long to get out of my mouth. She thought that I was going to tell her I killed somebody. She was like freaking out because I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something, and she was like, just spit it out. And I was like, I'm trans, or just, it didn't go exactly like that, but she was like, oh my God, I thought you were going to tell me you killed somebody. And I was like, Mom, what? But yeah, I don't know. So that was an experience that I'll always remember. And then of course I told my grandparents, and that was scary. And to this day they're still adjusting, which I understand. it's a pretty big deal. And like, I know there's a lot of trans people out there, and I'm not bashing anybody for this. This is just my opinion. You know, they're very hardcore about people misgendering them and misnaming them, and you know, that's fine. For me personally, you know, I like to give people a little bit of grace, and to this day, I mean, it's been a year, but you know, they're trying, and that's all that matters to me. You know, they slip up sometimes, as do my friends, and you know, stuff like that, but to me it's just like, they're trying, and that's really all I can ask. They're not ever doing it maliciously or on purpose, you know. So I would say for the most part, like, that experience was good. You know, my grandparents had come out eventually after, you know, telling me, of course, they still love me and support me, that they are scared for me, and you know, of course, like, that's understandable. My grandpa's a pharmacist, so he was around medicine a lot, and he understands, you know, the testosterone can have some negative effects on the body, and you know, I'm gonna have to have surgeries if I want to, I guess, but I am going to have surgeries, and that's scary. And you know, I think in the end they're just really worried for me and my mental and physical health, and that's totally understandable. I get that. You know, all I ask is that they still love me, and that they still see that it is me still deep down in there. It's just I just look different on the outside. It's still me. I just sound different, and I just look different, but you know, I'm still that person. And then I came out to my corporate job, which honestly to me was almost scarier than my family, just because I didn't, you know them as well, obviously, and I'm not going to say who the company is, but they're a very religious company. Don't ask me how I got stuck into that one, but I just did. And so that was really scary. But honestly, my boss at the time, unfortunately, she quit and does no longer work there. But my boss at the time was extremely supportive. She was so kind to me and so nice. And they're, you know, very accommodating. And they, you know, before I even legally changed my name, they changed my email and my badge and stuff like that, and I you know, that showed a lot. And as much as I complained about this company and my job, I think that was just really, really cool of them to do that, so I appreciated that a lot. And then on November 8th, 2019, I went to the doctor after getting some doctor's notes and therapy notes to begin my transition, and I got my first dose of testosterone. And that was definitely a crazy experience. Obviously, you know, I did not know what to expect. I was obviously nervous, as I am sure most people were, that I'm gonna have to stick myself with a needle. And they put me on a pretty high dose. I think mine was half a mil. Oh my god, I don't even know. This is embarrassing. 1 mil for once a week. So I had to stick myself once a week with a needle, and they taught me to give mine kind of like in my upper fatty hip area, which I guess is a little bit more uncommon than others. But for me, I really like it because it does not hurt at all. It's easy to do by myself, so I liked it. So November 8th, 2019 is when I started my journey of transitioning. So yeah, I'll kind of include all the videos of me that I've made from my start of my transition to now, and just kind of, you know, explain what was happening through me throughout all my transitioning. And obviously, I feel so lucky for the support group that I was given. I seriously have not had one bad thing said to me by anyone that I know. Maybe a couple people have deleted me off social media after I posted it on social media, but nobody has ever come out and, you know, said anything negative towards me. All I have seen from everybody is support. And especially, I mean, when I started my GoFundMe for my top surgery fund, I was just blown away. I seriously could not ever fathom having that much support from people around me, and people that I haven't talked to in years, people that I even hardly know. But it's just like people came out of the woodwork to support me and donate to somebody that, you know, they hardly know. And I just, it makes me tear up still, because that's just such an incredible thing to me. And it's just like, wow, humanity like is doing all right sometimes, you know. And it's great to have it be me who like is happening to, not like to sound selfish, but you know, that just really, I was so scared for so long of the negative views and, you know, people not supporting me. And it's just like, for what? Why was I scared? Why did I live so much of my life in fear of people hating me and not supporting me and not being proud of me, you know, when I could have just been myself so much longer ago? And started this so much longer ago. And honestly, that's probably my biggest regret throughout this whole thing so far, is that I did not start this sooner. I am just turned 28, and I started this journey when I was 27, and so many times I'm like, why didn't I just start this? Why didn't I just beg my grandparents to take me to a gender counselor or something when I was a kid? Because I just would have loved, I feel like I missed out on like a great deal of my boyhood. I was like a young boy, teenager, stuff like that. But that's just life, I guess, and that's just how it happens. But I guess I'm making this to tell you, if you're having these same thoughts and you're young, just do it. Just go for it. I know that I am so lucky to have the support that I have, but really, it is not about other people. It's about you, and it's about how you want to live your life, and it's about how you want to be comfortable in your own skin. I mean, be selfish for once, Like, it's okay to be selfish sometimes. And it's not even really selfish. It's just like, you are you. You're supposed to think about yourself sometimes, You can't think about everybody else all the time. That's exhausting. So just be you. Be yourself. Just do it. Go out on a limb. Take that risk. I cannot explain how great it felt to finally just take that risk and let go. And for me, I'm not ashamed of what I look like in the past, and I'm also, not ashamed of my old name or who I was. I'm not ashamed of that version of me. I don't necessarily miss that version of me, but I'm definitely not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed of who I was, because technically it's still who I was and who I am. It was just a part of my entire life's journey. And so I don't think that there, should be any shame in that. I don't cringe when people show me old pictures of myself where I looked more feminine or presented as a female, because that was still me, and that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. I want to look back on my 27 years of life prior to me starting this transition, and just take it as a learning experience. And as someone who is growing to become who I truly am, I just think that that's really important, to not hate myself for who I was. Like I said, I do regret not starting sooner, but you know what? I didn't, and that's okay. All I can do now is take that as a learning experience, and that person was still me. I still had great times as me in the past. It's not like I lived every day in anguish. And that kind of goes back to like the, you can think about yourself, but you also have to think of others sometimes. So I don't get terribly mad when people misgender me or misname me still, people that have known me for a long time, because it's going to happen. If they've known you for 27 years of their life as one thing, it's really, really hard to just change their pattern of talking to you, and I understand that. I get that. I want to be understanding. I don't want to be mean about it, because that's just gonna make them, I feel like, not want to do it more. And obviously now, since I've started this transition, I'm a lot happier with myself. Of course, I've had bad days where, I second guess myself, especially at the beginning. Holy smokes. I can't, every other day it was like, am I doing the right thing? Do I actually want this? It was like kind of like just denial still of just like, oh my gosh, what if I'm doing this? And like, I want to transition back in the future, and that's okay. If you decide that you want to do that, that's fine. Like I said, this is just my experience, my thoughts, and I'm hoping that this will help somebody figure themselves out too someday. But yeah, I really just, there were so many days where I was just scared that I wasn't doing the right thing for myself, and that's all right to have those thoughts. But ultimately, I am so proud of myself, and I'm so happy with myself. And I'm just so incredibly stoked on how far I have come in this journey. Just a couple years ago, there's no way I could have imagined being 1 year on testosterone. I mean, to me, that is just absolutely mind-bending. Like, I cannot believe that still. I feel like I'm living a dream half the time. No, but really, it's such an eye-opening experience, and I feel so humbled to have gotten to experience this, and having, like I said, such a great support system around me. I feel so blessed. I am just, living my best life, truly. And there are obviously, it doesn't fix everything in my life. I'm, still, like I said, I still have bad days where I'm, depressed and anxious about something else or whatever. But, being out in public and feeling confident in myself with who I truly am is just something else that I don't think that I could have ever achieved without, believing in myself and coming to terms with the fact that this is who I am. When I look in the mirror, it's weird because I feel like I've obviously slowly seen myself transition into this person that I am, but when I look in the mirror, I just see somebody that I've always seen deep down. I know that's so cheesy and so cringy, but it's true. It's not like, oh my God, like I have facial hair, it's like, yeah, I have facial hair, and that's like what I've always seen and like wanted. So it's just like, it's not like really a shock to see that for myself because it's what I've always wanted and seen in myself deep down. I don't really know how else to explain it. So yeah, I guess, this is probably about to be wrapped up pretty soon. I really just wanted to make this video to talk about my experience, my opinions, my thoughts on my personal transition, and I'm not saying that you have to believe what I believe or go through what I went through or anything like that. Just wanted to make this, to help somebody else who's maybe struggling with similar thoughts that I had or am having. I am just so incredibly happy with where I'm at right now, and I've got forever to go, so that just makes me even more happy. But yeah, so 1 year on testosterone down. That's awesome. Congrats to me. Okay, so I just wanted to say one little last thing. I know I'm sorry this video is getting extra super long, but I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has believed in me and been there for me and given me the motivation to be who I am. I would not be making this video if it weren't for you. And just being able to be seen as I've always felt is just the most amazing experience. I can't describe it. I truly never thought that I would find the confidence to be able to be this happy with myself. And to those of you to just start this journey who are watching this, just do it. Believe in yourself, set goals, and accomplish them. Seriously, if I can do it, you can do it.
So I get to say, this is my voice, 1 day on testosterone.
Hi, I'm Mac, and you're watching Disney Channel. Just kidding. This is just a voice update that I wanted to do. Hi, voice update again. It's just a little bit later, but my voice is dropped. I can't talk any higher than this. Hello? It's crazy. Hello? Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 2 months on soy sauce. Hi, my name is Mac. This is my voice. 2 months and 2 weeks on testosterone. Hi, I'm Mac, and I have a big ass head, and this is my voice. 3 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 3 months and 2 weeks on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac. This is my voice. 4 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 5 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 6 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 7 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 8 months on testosterone. Woo! Still voice cracking. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 9 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 10 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 11 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Mac, and this is my voice. 1 whole year on testosterone.